We are actively being replaced by AI, by machines, by robots. In other words, by automation. In fact, this is inevitable in my opinion. So what you see here is the Amazon employees and robotics chart. Now this is from ARK Invest, and you're gonna have to verify the numbers yourself. I'm gonna assume much of this is correct, okay? You could probably go through their balance sheet and get this information. Now this is in number in thousands, right? As you can see, the employees have been increasing exponentially, but now it has kind of stalled a little bit. But have you now noticed how the AI, the robots, right? This automated system here has been steadily increasing. Now, do you see the difference that's happening here? Obviously, this is slowly and then suddenly. I think this thing is going to accelerate like never before. Because before we didn't have really good AI and automation was very primitive. The AIs were very primitive algorithms. But now with large language models and all kinds of innovation and the pressures from think about XAI and other robotics companies, this is going to keep intensifying. Now right now, the robots that you're seeing are robots kind of like this. You can see this stuff in ports and in all kinds of areas. These robots are getting better and better and better. They've been used for a very long time. But there are certain things that these robots simply put cannot do. Okay, obviously it's quite limited. They don't even have arms. But that is changing slowly with these types of robots that have human-esque, humanoid statures and physiques. And although this one doesn't look like it, many of them have dexterity, right? They have hands with high degrees of movement. And so that's what's coming, right? So these were the two things that were missing. So what was missing was the brain. The brain was missing, aka LLMs, right? So this was missing. And the other thing that was missing was the hands, okay? So these were the two things that were missing. Everything else has essentially been figured out, okay? Everything else has been figured out, but now with the LLMs innovation and the hands, the dexterity of the hands becoming better and better, and it's slowly approaching the level of the human hand. Hasn't reached it yet, but it's definitely on its way and it's getting very close. But once it reaches it, it's probably going to surpass it and be even more useful than the human hand, as far as we could tell. At that point, what the heck is left? And they're actually estimating that it's going to get far worse, right? So this is an estimation from CNBC. Of course, nobody knows the future, but I think this is a pretty good estimation. So an estimated number of human workers expected to be replaced by humanoid robots. It's a very, very large number. Now, I suspect that the taking over will first happen in dangerous jobs, right? So dangerous jobs will be the first to go. Think about, things such as firefighter, astronaut, all these things that, because when a rocket explodes, if there are no humans in it, it sucks. A lot of people lost a lot of money, but that's better than losing human life. So I believe all these dangerous things will be overtaken by machines, but eventually it's going to go down to the most basic things such as security, right? Think about, if we can hire a dog to walk around the house to secure the house, a lot of people would be willing to pay for that, especially if it's affordable. If you can buy one for like $500 or something and it just, walks around the house, that's great. And so this is the projection. Why am I so confident that this is actually going to happen and that we're not just all hallucinating? Well, this is simply put a trend of automation that has been going on for a very long time, right? This is an example here. The 1st century BC, we had water wheels, right? And this is the first generation of mechanization based on recorded history. If you look back, I'm sure there's all kinds of stuff, but recorded history, according to the history that we have right now, we can go back and see that this trend of automation has been going on for a while. It's as simple as if you can do something automatically, it's obviously much better than having to do everything manually. And so this is the first generation. So mechanization of water power, steam power, yeah, right? You can see here a 9th century mill machinery advancement. So here we're using the power of the wind. So initially it was very primitive, but it's all the same concept. Use something, some sort of flow, some sort of energy, and capture that energy to produce something that you need. And then came the 17th and 18th century, the Industrial Revolution, right? Here came the mass production, okay, the assembly line. Things such as electricity came about. We had the railway system. I mean, imagine moving from horses to this stuff. This was incredible progress, right? So we can do way, way more than before. It is simply put incomprehensible. I remember reading something and it was explaining a person that was, that would go back in time and would use the knowledge of mass production, assembly lines, etc., at a time where this wasn't a thing at all. And this person straight up dominated that era because he was able to produce so much more than everybody else. For example, you needed a shoe. Back in those days, you needed a shoe. You go to some shoe shop, and that person does everything. Makes the shoe from beginning till end, repairs the shoe, does everything by themselves. And this is obviously a lot slower than if you had an assembly line. Well, one person only makes the sole, another person only makes the shoelaces. That is far more efficient because you can standardize everything and the shoelaces will look identical because it's just one person making just that shoelace, right? And so that's pretty much how we got to this point where things got automated and standardized more and more. But then we continue, right? 1900s to 1950s, we got the electrification, right? The industrial controls. We harnessed greater and greater amounts of energy on this planet, right? We're essentially increasing or finishing more and more of the Kardashev scale, which is a way to measure populations. And on this scale, number one population is a population that can harness all of Earth's energy. And number two is one that can harness all of the stars' energy. Now we're marching towards number one still, but we're harnessing more and more. That's kind of what's going on here. And we had the electric motors and things of that nature, right? Radiation. We got the nuclear power and all this stuff. And this was furthermore acquiring more energy and automating more and more things with that energy. And then we got, the modern day, the 20th and 21st century, where we, turn everything digital. And initially it was just a basic calculator, and then it became a very powerful calculator. And then we automated the calculations. Okay, we automated the process, the way we talk to these machines. We just had to give it fewer and fewer instructions to receive greater and greater results, right? That's pretty much what AI is. These large language models are just simply put a way to talk to the computers, which is what programming is. But the way to measure the efficiency of this programming is to look at, okay, how many words how many instructions do you have to give it, right? So let's put I for instructions, and here is 0 instructions, and here is, an infinite amount of instructions, okay? So this is the maximum of instructions that you can give. And then output, how much are you getting after giving instructions? And the goal is you want to essentially give zero instructions and get maximum output. So the best thing to get is right here, whilst the worst thing is to put maximum input and get 0 results, right? 0 output. And so AI is just the line that we're essentially continuously moving, progressing closer and closer when it comes to computers to this part. And we're essentially trying to get to a point where we have these automated machines. After the initial setup, the initial, push, it figures everything out on its own. Okay, that would be the golden thing for AI, if that makes sense. So, and it's not just AI, it's everything pretty much. With all automation, you want to input as little as possible and get out as much as possible, pretty much. This is pretty much what's going on, and we're trying to get here as much as possible, which is impossible. Infinity is impossible, but that is the goal. We're trying to get to infinite output with minimum or no input, right? Which would be the lowest amount of input. So that is pretty much what we're trying to do. And so this is ultimately a good thing, believe it or not, right? If we can get more for less, isn't that a good thing? But the process of going through that transition is never easy, especially for those who have a hard time adapting, and considering the change is happening so fast, it is indeed a little bit scary. But we're in this together, and I do want to give a special shout out to the Patreons. And if you would like to support this channel, consider becoming a Patreon. Salute, soldier!